chances are if you just go straight in and create a wing, if you're not skilled in it, then it will probably look uneven, and then you end up making it thicker and thicker and thicker to make it even to the other eye, and then it ends up being completely different. Like, leave a comment below if you can relate to this, because we've all been there. Even professionals, we've all been there. Hey Glam Squad, welcome back to another episode of Beginner's Guide to Makeup, the series that helps busy women with their makeup struggles in just a few easy steps. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you two of my favorite techniques for prominent eyes. But before we get into the video, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about prominent eyes. So the first question I get all the time is, what's the difference between prominent and protruding eyes? And the answer is that there is actually no difference. It is the same eye shape. Prominent is just the technical term for your eye shape. Another term I see being thrown around all the time is bulging eyes, and this is actually a medical condition and is not an eye shape. A prominent eye is when the eye sits outside of the eye socket. You will have a lot of lid space, and you may even have a lower lid or a crease under the eye. Sometimes this can cause a shadow under the eye as well, which can create or give the illusion of having really dark circles. Another thing I want to mention is that one size does not fit all, or one tip and technique does not fit all. And what I mean by this is, even though you may have prominent eyes also come in different sizes and shapes. So for example, you may have very big round prominent eyes, or you may have a smaller oval shaped prominent eyes. Both of these are prominent, but you'll just have different sizes and shapes, which means that different techniques will suit your eye shape better. So for me, a smaller, thin liner is going to suit my eye shape better than someone that has very big, round, prominent eyes, because they have more lid space and more of a defined crease. A thicker cat eye liner is actually going to complement their eye shape better because they have a lot more lid space to work with. So I hope that answers any questions you have about your prominent eyes and why your prominent eyes may look a little bit different to someone else's. If you do have any more questions, do let me know in the comment section. But for now, I'm going to share with you some of my favorite techniques to suit all styles of prominent eyes. So without further ado, let's get into it. I would have quite a small prominent eye, even though my eyes are kind of my biggest features, and it's usually the first thing people notice about me because they're big and they're blue. But compared to some other types of prominent eyes, mine would be on the smaller side. So you can see that it is very easy to get my eye shape mixed up with a hooded eye, because I do have a lot of skin right here on my brow bone. So sometimes that can be, seen as a hooded eye, but I do have a lot of lid space compared to someone that has a hooded eye. So with my eye shape, it is better, just like the hooded eye, to keep your liner as thin as possible. So if I go too thick with my liner, you can see it will actually enhance this part of my eye that will actually make my eyes kind of droop down more and look a little bit more hooded. So with my eye shape, it's better to keep it nice and thin. So when you're doing a winged liner, it's best to kind of line it up with your lower lash line. So I recommend taking a pen liner, particularly for beginners. This is a great way to create a winged liner. They're cleaner, they're easier to work with, and a lot more straightforward. I think even the most professional makeup artists struggle with liquid liners. They're very watery and can be very messy as well. I personally love these pens or gel liners. There's loads of options out there. I'd recommend just trying them all out and just seeing what works for you. But if you're starting out with liner, a pen liner like this is an actual amazing place to start. I like to start my wing first. Some people like to do their lid first. I like to just kind of get an idea of where I'm going to put my wing. So I like to just line it up with my lower lash line. So I don't like to make my wing kind of tilt up too high. Yes, it's really good to lift the eye depending on your eye shape, but I find with my prominent eyes, because I have smaller prominent eyes as well, it gets stuck here in the crease, and it can droop the lid down a little bit more, making my eyes look a little bit like older, a little bit more hooded and saggy. So it's better if you just angle your liner out just slightly this way, so it's just going to fall nicer in the eye and look a lot more complimentary as well. If you have a bigger prominent eye, you could definitely go with a thick cat liner, and it's going to look absolutely beautiful on you. So I'm just going to start here with lining it up with the lower lash line, again pointing out towards, say, the end of my brow. I'm just going to do a little dot. Now you have your dot in place, you know exactly how long the wing is going to be and the angle of the wing. You can then go ahead and do the same thing to the other eye, so you can kind of match them up and see how even they're going to be. And it's actually going to be a lot easier as well to, you know, fix this up and play around with it before you actually, you know, create the wing. So you can easily wipe this off with a tiny little bit of eye makeup remover or even just a little bit of concealer, and it will just wipe off for you straight away. If you just go straight in and create a wing, if you're not skilled in it, then it will probably look uneven, and then you end up making it thicker and thicker and thicker to make it even to the other eye, and then it ends up being completely different. Like, leave a comment below if you can relate to this, because we've all been there, even professionals, we've all been there. So now I'm going to create the actual line of the wing. So again, I'm going to hold up that business card. This is going to be hard for me to do on camera because I'm just looking in the little viewfinder. So I'm just going to line that up with the lower lash line, and then I'm just going to take that pen and just bring it right down to the lower lash line. This bloody pen is wasting as well. This is not ideal. So I'm going to start in the middle. You can use your cheekbone and your baby finger just to put pressure on your cheekbone so you have more control, especially if you have a shaky hand. And I'm just going to start just creating a very thin line. You can even look straight ahead into a mirror so you can see exactly how thick it's going to be. Going to close my eye again and just going to bring it into the inner corner. So looking straight into a mirror, you can still see my lid space here, so it's not like closing down my eye, it's not too thick or anything like that. So that is the perfect thickness for me. So now we want to go back and finish the wing. So we're literally just going to go to, not to the very top of the wing, but like maybe just a millimeter down. And I am going to just draw a line down. Okay, so then I just like to go back over it and just kind of even out any like sharp edges, any jagged edges. So this is a dramatic cat eye liner on my eye shape. You can see it's still nice and thick, but it's not too thick that it's taking over the whole entire lid. You can still see my eyes. It really brings them forward and draws attention to them instead of making them look really tired and droopy. So once you put on lashes, it will tie the whole look together, and I think this style of liner is really complimentary on my eye shape. So for liner style number 2, I'm using a gel liner. You could totally use a pen again for this. I actually just opted for a gel. Reason 1 being that my liner is actually wasting, and reason 2 being it's just nice to see a similar technique with a different product. So I'm going to be using gel today, and I'm going to be using a very small detailed angle brush. This one is from Morphe from the Madison Beer collection. I really like using shadow shields because it is a really great foolproof way to do your liner. It makes life so much easier for you. It's a lot cleaner, and they're not too harsh on the eyes either. They're not very sticky, so it's not going to damage your eyes in any way, and it's just a great idea. It just makes life so much easier. So I'm going to start by looking down into my mirror. I have a mirror like really close to my eye here. I'm looking right down, and I'm going to take the brush, holding it near the top of the handle for more pressure and control. This is going to be more of a natural style liner, so I'm going to keep it really small. The wing first, so just bring it right down to the lower lash line. And if you find that your gel is kind of drying out, just put a little bit of Duraline into it and it will just loosen up the formula a little bit. So I like to do this step by step. I'm just bringing that wing in just a tiny bit, kind of just when I get to the color of my eye here. And I'm going to stop here, and I'm actually going to take off the shadow shield so I can get an idea if I'm happy with the placement of the wing and the thickness of the wing. I'm just doing it bit by bit. I'm just going to go into the inner corner and just kind of stamp it down against the lash line. So like I said, I don't want this to be a really thick liner. So I'm just going back to the end, again, just dragging it right across just to get that smooth finish. One of the pros of using, say, a gel over a liquid or a pen is that you can go back over it as many times as you need to kind of smooth it out and make sure it's even without it going all crumbly and flaky on you. It's more of a matte finish as well, which I think is really beautiful. So you can see there I'm just able to go back over it and it's really smooth and it's not like flaking up on me. This one is a lot more dramatic, a lot heavier than this one. I find that this one is most complimentary on my eye shape because the liner is thinner, so you can see a lot more of my lid space. It lifts the eye just a little bit more as well. I find this one is just a little bit heavy. Even though it is complimentary on my eye shape, it is just a little bit more on the heavy side compared to this one. So I hope that gives you a better idea of the different techniques and the different products out there. It really is just trial and error when it comes down to liner. Some products work better for some people and others work better for other people, and different techniques work for different people as well. So it really is just trial and error. I really hope you got some value from this video and learned some new tips and tricks. Let me know if you found this video useful. I know it is a lot longer than my normal videos. I like to keep my videos short and straight to the point, but I felt for a video like this, I really wanted to sit down with you and kind of go through everything in detail so you have a better idea. It's kind of harder to do that over voiceover. So it is a little bit longer. I hope it's okay. I hope you got some value from it. If you do want to check out more of my beginners makeup lessons, do check out the playlist, which I'll leave linked up here and also in the description box as well. I really hope I get to see you in my next video. Bye!